All right. Thanks, everybody, for coming along today. Sorry about last week at the ending. We're not sure what took place there, but beyond that, we see something in Bryce's ear. Saw it last week and his ear this time. What do you got over there?
This side.
Yeah.
Yes. Isn't that's the AirPod. Finally, I had to track them down. I try to not buy anything online if I don't have to. I like to support the little guys, the Targets, the Walmarts. And so I prefer to go into the stores and buy them. Online, I could have bought them. Standard shipping probably would have been 5 days or whatever. And that's crazy. So I called around. Actually, I think I did what you suggested. I went to a couple of websites that claim at least to track where some of these devices are in stock, called Target. And they said, we have one in stock. And I said, okay, can you find it for me? I don't want to get there and then you guys say we can't find it. And so I says, okay, hold on. And he puts the phone down. Doesn't even put me on hold. Puts the phone down. And I can hear him start talking to like 3 other customers. Finally, about 5, maybe a whole 10 minutes goes by. And he says, are you still there? I was like, yeah, I'm still here. A little older, but I'm here. And he says, I couldn't find it. And I believed him because I was there 2 days earlier, maybe 3. I saw them sitting on the shelf, the little lonely box, just a single box. And the guy had previously told me when they come in, sometimes we get 1, sometimes we get 4, but they just come in and maybe they don't even last a day. And so what's interesting about this one is I went back, I saw it on the shelf. I didn't quite have my money in order. I got that squared away. And then I went back maybe the next day, could have been 2 days later. I don't remember. And it was gone. I was like, so I asked one of the ladies that worked there and she says, if it's not on the shelf, we don't have it. I said, okay, thank you. That's not always true, but sometimes that's the easy thing for them to say to get you to leave. And it worked for me. So anyway, so we had the conversation. I checked online and it said Target had one. So I called, waited forever. We don't have it in stock. I talked to a friend of ours that actually works there and she's like, yeah, stuff goes missing quite frequently. It's still in the database and it's there, but it's nowhere to be seen. So such is life, I guess, at a big box store. So on that same website, I scrolled down to the Wally World. We have 2 super Walmarts. I apologize if that sounds like we're bragging, but 2 super Walmarts here in town. It's actually not the same town, but they're anyway, same valley. And so I looked up one and it said they had 3 in stock. And I said, you shut your mouth. So I called them and this lady answers and I says,
Sounds like you're.
I says to her,
sounds like you live next door.
I said to her, hey, I'm looking for the AirPod. Do you guys have any in stock? And she says, yes. Which one would you like? And I started to laugh, not at her, but with her. And I said, the wireless ones? And she says, okay, let me check. Because I know we just got the wired ones in. And then we got the red ones too. And I'm like, I'm not totally confident she knows what I'm talking about. But I did say wireless, so we're leaning at least in the right direction. She comes back and she says, yes, we've got them right here. And I said, oh, okay, I guess I'll go down.
You ask her
so I told the guys I work with.
You didn't ask her the price?
What's that?
You didn't ask her the price to see if she had the right ones?
She did say, are they $159? Okay. And I said, yeah, I think those are them. So I was confident, but not 100%. I mean, it is Walmart. So I went down, go to electronics, and I say, I just called about some AirPods. And boy, she gave me the look. She was like, It was apparently I didn't make friends over the phone. So I said, yeah, sorry. I apologize I just didn't know that they had more than one version. So please, please accept my apology. That was ignorance on my part. And she was, it's okay. And she turned around and I could see them. They were right there. She, of course, went to grab the wrong ones. I said, no. Those are the wired ones. Those are the wired ones. I want the ones next to it. Oh, okay. Thank you, honey. Welcome, darling. So she hands them to me. I pay. That's when I sent you that picture because I was so giddy. And then here we are today.
To be clear,
I've used them.
You sent the picture to me,
yes.
not to everybody else.
Yes.
Just in case they were looking for that picture, because you said you sent them the picture. So.
Well, we wouldn't want them to spend too much time doing
I like
that.
to be helpful.
I don't even have their number. So, yeah. Anyway, so I, of course, before I get back to work, I open them up. They pair, bing, 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 right away. They're not, I open it now, got an iPhone here and an iPad here, so I'm already connected to the iPhone, so it's going to stay there. But so far they're good. I've only had one incident where it didn't pair. I had to shut it and reopen, unlock my phone and try it again, and it worked. I've noticed, and this is maybe a feature, I don't know, that's what Apple calls it. I get in the car while it's playing music. My car has Bluetooth, so it immediately then connects and plays. But then when I stop and get out, I don't believe I've lost connectivity, but it doesn't start picking up where I left off again. But if I double tap it, it does. So I guess that's just, I'm assuming it's a feature so that all of a sudden you're not like, bam, and there's just stuff playing in your ear when you weren't ready for it. So it's borderline seamless. They haven't fallen out. They're comfortable. The battery life is actually longer than I was expecting. I've been getting about 6 hours per earbud. Yeah. And I use this one most because it's my good ear. This one is about half the decibels coming in over here. So I do use this one the most, but I try to still balance it, throw it in here and just crank up the volume so I can actually hear it. So far I've only been made fun of a couple times at work, and I'm okay with that. I'm still probably going to buy that little sticker wrap that you put on it to just give it a color. They have a couple colors, but I like the black one, matte black. It looks more like an earpiece, like if you have a jawbone or something. It doesn't look this to me still looks a little goofy. It just screams Apple. Right. And while I like Apple products, that's why I bought it. And the audio quality is good, if not on par or slightly better than the wired versions, I would say. Again, I don't have the greatest hearing, so it's easy for me to not have good standards, or I should be able to accept lesser standards. But so far, so good. I can't complain. I don't use them as much as I would like to, but then again, my job here lately has been here at my office. But if I get out and I go to some of the sites and do some other things, I'll probably start using them a little bit more. But yeah, I like them. They're good fun, good stuff.
All right.
I wish they were $50, $60 less. $99, I think, would be the sweet spot for these guys. Right. But I do understand that, they've got Beats, which is already overpriced for the quality, or at least the quality of sound. I'm sure they're made well, but the sound is rare. And I mean, when you have Bose going out there with phenomenal sound and good reliability, kicking in at about $350. I mean, those are the big cans, though. They don't make anything like this yet. Supposedly they're coming out with something, but it's considered more of a hearing aid.
Yeah, the other competitors to the AirPods, though, are at the price or more expensive. So, ironically, I don't know if that's ironically actually, surprisingly, Apple is coming in, as far as the competition goes, at a reasonable price for this. Not, again, as far as everybody's pocketbooks go. I agree that $99 might be the better price for these, but they were the first on board with it, so they can claim their price, and everybody else surprisingly went higher. There are some that are coming in a little lower, but I haven't seen too many that are getting very good reviews that have come in lower than the $169 or $160 mark.
Yeah, $159. I'm curious about the Google headphones.
I've heard they're horrible.
They are wired. They're wired together. And that's actually one of the main reasons I like these, that they're not. Because normally, I do have the wired pair, the ones I would use previously, the last few episodes. Well, almost all of them had something, big headphones, or just the wired ghetto versions of this. But I never wear them both at the same time. So I would always end up tucking one in my shirt or just let it dangle down. And it was just always kind of a pain. I already have, wherever it is, my lanyard for work that gets in the way a lot. So I don't want headphones to be getting in the way either. Although being able to just pop them off and let them just hang over your shoulder or on your neck, that would be nice. But I mean, that's small enough to where it can fit in my pocket, and I can always swap them out.
Yeah. I understand the
Here's
size
small,
of it. The Altoids 10. They're I would have liked them to be a little narrower, thinner, maybe is the word.
the case.
Yeah, because I don't like having things in my pocket. So when I have this in there, it's noticeable to me. However,
Yeah.
because it's super shiny plastic, it does slide in and out easily. And it's easy to hold. It's not like the iPhone where as soon as you pick it up, you feel like it's going to squirt out like
Very
a bar of
slippery.
soap. This thing you can hold on to
Yeah.
pretty well. So I haven't had any problem. And I'm pretty I'm fanatical. I'll use the word even. That's because I can't think of another. To make sure I get them back in here when I take it out of the ear.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I assume that you've already got some routine out for that, just to make sure you don't lose that thing in a pocket and send it through a washer or something.
Same idea. Just once it comes out, it goes back in the case. If I don't have the case with me, then I put it in the pocket with all my other stuff. You know, I might get a little dinged up inside there because I've got a chapstick, Altoids 10, sometimes an Altoids bag. I just get a little Ziploc and I put them in there.
But not in addition to the.
Because I don't like the jingle jangling of
Okay.
it. What's that?
In addition to
No,
the
yeah, no, yes, swap it out, and then a pocket knife that is good size, and so yeah, I could get dinged up, but it's only been once that I've done that. I try to keep it with me in some sort of pocket. I almost always have a jacket on this time of year, especially here lately. I've been sick, so having the jacket on gives me, like in this case, 3 or 4 extra pockets. One test I'm going to do, I haven't done it yet, is my laptop has Bluetooth. I'm going to try to pair it with and it's not a Mac, it's a Windows-based laptop, Dell. I'm going to try to pair it with that, see how that works. And I have a USB dongle, pigtail, whatever you want to call it. Looks about the same size as a flash drive. It's a Bluetooth receiver. It's actually pretty old, so I'm not sure if it transmits audio or not. But anyways, I'm going to plug that into my work PC, which is an old Dell, about a 5-year-old Dell, to see if it'll pair there. Even if it gives me kind of mediocre, crappy audio, it's better than having a wire tethered to, which every time I stand up, I yank and I break. And
Right.
I've gone through 15 or so headphones. So, but anyway, so that's a test. So stick around for that. It's not going to be today, but we've got the holiday break coming up. I'll be working next week, a couple days, and week after a couple days. Maybe I'll get a chance to try it then. But if not, I'll get it tested soon. Soonish.
It should work. I would imagine it should work on the computer. The other thing I'm not certain about, but because it'll work with an Android phone, no problem. Just connect like a Bluetooth headset. So I would imagine.
Yeah, you won't have the double tap features, but you should have the audio. But again, sometimes when you do that, even if it pairs, it's not quite as apple to apple pairing. So the quality might go down or whatever else, or maybe the battery life is affected. So I'd like to test these things just to see. They're not terribly important stuff. That's why I haven't done it yet. But as of now, they're good. I give them a thumbs up. Even for people who have Androids, I wish they'd make the different colors. Maybe Apple AirPod 2.0s will have, the matte black and the rose gold or whatever other colors they have this year, champagne. But different colors would be nice. I really would like a black one. I'm tempted to send mine to Colorware. But that's a lot of money.
Yeah, they're pretty pricey. They look nice, but they're pretty pricey.
Yeah. So anyways, so that's my review, and I like them. I like a lot.
All right. Well, there you go. I like them too. And I can hear you AirPod to AirPod. I can hear you crystal clear, so everything. I'm trying to remember last week's audio. Hold on one second. Yeah, I think it's a little bit better, I would say, even than last week's. Because the other set that you used to use, the wired ones you're talking about, the audio was always pretty good on those. Of course, I was hearing you through this every time. But the microphone there picked up pretty well, and it was hanging in this range somewhere. This microphone up there by your head picks you up pretty well, and I'm hearing you really no problem at all.
Very bueno. Another thing I want to test is there are a few people on the YouTubes who use this bad boy as a microphone when recording videos from their phone or tablets. So I have an update. I don't have them with me, but I have an update for that lightning adapter that I have on my keychain. I ended up taking out of the KeySmart. It was bending the cables a bit too much, and I didn't really like that. So I'll show what I did there. And if I get a chance to buy a couple smaller pieces that are inexpensive, or even make them, they're not that hard to make. I just have to find time to do it. I might record something with the phone using this as the microphone, just as a kind of a quality test. They're claiming it can be done online, as all have heard in the last few episodes. I should say the first few episodes. I'm not quite the audio engineer, so I'm hopefully getting better. But it doesn't help when you can't hear very well yourself. So I'm trying to make things sound great. And I'm like, oh, it sounds good to me. Turns out people who can actually hear don't love it.
On that, talking about sound, the video that you made, not for the prior episode, but before that, when you were making the little key thing, what did you use for a microphone there? Are you sure you recorded that video? Was it a built-in microphone on the mic? On the mic?
No, I that was good. I was like an involuntary doy. You couldn't even help it. It just
had to. That was the only response to that.
The lavalier that I have, I think I used that because I think it like just came in. Yeah. It came in with some of the other gear that I used to make it. So
I thought it sounded pretty good.
There's a little baggie that it comes in.
Yeah, little leatherette baggie. The one I bought has a little felt bag, but it sounded pretty good. So worst comes to worst, if that thing, the AirPod thing doesn't sound that well.
Yeah.
I feel like the lavalier will probably sound better, but if it sounds like
it's hard to really tell,
then I think it would be suitable.
Yeah. Yeah, and this one, that's why it's so low. This one, it's pretty hot. I've got my camera, again, that's the Panasonic Lumix G85. Man, I love this camera. It's not perfect by any means. And I'm sure if I were a better photographer, it would be even better. But it has minus 12 decibels, is as low as the built-in audio receiver will go, the preamp. And I probably actually need to go down to like minus 16 fully for this lavalier to be at the right spot. Because if I don't say anything, you can actually hear the lights. You can hear people in the room behind me, and they're not even yelling. They're just talking like you and I are talking now. And that's because this thing is still, even at minus 12, so hot. I just can't go down any further. There's some more hardware that I do plan on buying. That's not needed hardware. It's wanted hardware. That's why I don't have it right now. I think I mentioned it. I threw it up a couple weeks ago. My little wish list of audio gear that I plan on buying. Ceramonic audio mic input, single out. But anyways, I think we're kind of babbling on too much about this now. But this is all a work in progress. One of these days, we'll get it to sound pristine, and maybe even, hopefully it'll sound as good as we look.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. So there we go. Hope that was helpful to anybody. We had more reviews of the AirPods, and if you guys have anything that you want us to review, no guarantees. We're not rich, but if I have it, I'll review it for you.
I'll point you to a YouTube.
I'll even review. Matter of fact, yeah, I'll mention, not now, but maybe in another video, the batteries. Last week's video, when you were talking about your Eero, the battery died again, and it went from 100% pretty much to bloop to nothing. And I'm using these knockoff batteries that they're called Power Extra. It's probably out of focus here. Power Extra batteries. And they're actually really good when they work. And maybe it just registered wrong in the camera. And there is an update for the camera. I should probably put that in there. But 1,500 milliamps. And I think it's 1,200 on the actual Panasonic battery. So, but the frustrating thing is it said 100%, and that 100% only lasted about 16 minutes of record time. So that's frustrating. I've got the Panasonic in now, and it's a fresh battery, and I'm still reading 3 of 3, 20 minutes in. So 3 of 3 on the battery level, by the way. So maybe I'll talk about these, some of the benefits to them, some of the downsides. But like I said, anybody who has any requests for anything specific or even generic, just topic ideas that you're curious about. What's the best app to keep kids entertained? What is Plex? How to set that up? What are other it's a media server, by the way, but what are other options that are out there? Anything, just let us know and put a message in the comments there, and I'm sure Brent will see them eventually, and we'll go from there. Sound bueno?
Yes. I'm sorry, C.
Okay. C. Oui. Oh, that's French. Bong. I made that up.
I know that one. You're on your own there.
That's Cantonese, I think. Yeah. Anyways, before we offend anybody else, adios, and we'll see you guys next week.
Right. See ya.